Well, everyone, thank you for your patience, and now it's showtime. Who's ready to ask some questions? Here we go. Good afternoon, Erin.
Hi, how are you?
How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Very good.
Good.
What happened since the last interview?
I've been all over the place. I've been to Texas on a World War II aircraft carrier. I've been to a haunted jail. I've been to a haunted movie theater. I've been all over.
All over.
Yeah.
How's those books coming?
They're slow going, just because I've been on the road so much this past couple months, but we're getting closer.
Getting closer.
Yeah.
What novels have you released so far?
Just the first installment of the hauntings around America, which it has different hauntings of different states. I'm working on the second version of that right now with even more locations. And I'm also writing a book about the Civil War that actually has nothing to do with ghosts. So I'm all over the place.
Well, it's better be over the place than not up to the speed that you desire.
There you go.
Um, so are you in the middle of writing a book now then?
I am, yeah. But I've only gotten about 5 chapters done, so I have a long way to go.
How many chapters do you need in a book?
It depends on the book. For me, they usually average around 35.
35.
Yeah.
Um, so what can the viewers expect to see in this upcoming novel?
Um, the newest one will just have even more spotlights than the first one had, of haunted locations. They're more elusive than the original ones. The original ones had like the Queen Mary and all of the spots that people really know. These are more spots that people don't know so much about, but can visit if they wanted to.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it should be fun. Hopefully, everyone likes it.
Well, it sounds really interesting.
Thank you.
So, what advice would you give to people who want to be movie book writers?
Um, I would say, take a lot of breaks. I get really frustrated with myself. And I notice that if I take breaks, then I come back with the renewed energy. But if I don't take breaks and try and just press on and force stuff, it just doesn't come out right. So my biggest thing would be make sure you're taking breaks, mental breaks, get up, move around, maybe go sit on the couch, watch TV, just kind of renew your brain a little bit.
Use a renewal water
Exactly.
to renew your energy.
Yes, very much so.
It's a really good question for you then. How do you know what to write in a book? How do you come up with the ideas?
I'm always brainstorming. I swear that I live in a fantasy world half the time. So I'm always brainstorming. As for the haunted stuff, it's usually locations that I've visited, and I really enjoyed it, or I investigated there. So I'll, like this new book in particular, it's going to be focusing more on the investigations that I've done at these places.
Sounds really really interesting. It really does.
Thank you.
Have you had any reviews then from these books, and how do you get them to published?
I self-published the first one, and I do have reviews, and so far they've been really good reviews. So hopefully, I'm not jinxing myself. But for the next one, I'm starting to look for a literary agent, possibly getting it out there a little more, maybe even turning it into some kind of TV series or something. If we can get that far.
So you want to transform your book to a TV series?
Yeah, not so much like an acted out one, but more so of along the lines of ghost hunters and stuff, where we visit these areas, we talk about the history, and then we investigate.
Well, you gotta have the history. in the places. You've got to have the history, otherwise people won't know what they are viewing or what they are reading. So the impressions and the literature is the key to
Exactly.
get the maximum experience.
Exactly.
So what investigations have you been on?
My most recent one was at the Fowler Theater. It's in Indiana. Um, it was it was built in like 1940, I believe. It's said to be haunted by the former owner, a former manager, and a bunch of little children. I don't really know what's going on with that. They guessed that it was because of a train accident that happened right where the property was built, but a lot of activity there.
Does the writing exhaust you, or do you build up that energy?
It actually doesn't exhaust me, to be honest. Just because it's kind of like an escape for me. It's a hobby that I like. So, and I have a whole bunch of real life things going on too. So sometimes it's fun to escape and write.
Escape and write, escape from the reality and write. Do you do it electronically or do you actually physically write it?
Electronically. It's my laptop's always connected to me.
Do you ever forget the laptop?
Rarely.
No, it's good, isn't it? It's good that you don't have to write when you've got all these sort of electronical things that they can do it for you.
Exactly.
So, do you have like any other members in your team then that helps you come up with these chapters, or is it just a free flow and then when you finish writing it, actually all comes together?
It's just free flow. I do it myself as it comes to me, or depending on the book. For the hauntings, if I don't have firsthand experience, I'll ask someone that does, and then I'll use them in the book with their quotes.
So, what's upcoming? What's the upcoming plans?
Um, well, next week I have an investigation at a haunted hotel, and I'll be staying there overnight, and hopefully we'll get some good footage and we'll be able to put a full episode out. That is next, and then I will be going to Waverly Hills, which is one of the most famous haunted places in all of the U.S. It was an old TB hospital. Like 60,000 people died there or something. It's very, very haunted. So I'll be there at the end of May. And then I'll be in Pennsylvania in June at all over. I mean, a battlefield, a fort, an old hospital. I'll be all over Pennsylvania in June.
So, where do you document your video footage? Do you put it on YouTube or do you put it on your social media pages?
I usually put it on my social media pages. YouTube, I'll put interesting clips. If I get a really interesting EVP or some movement. Otherwise,
all the YouTube stuff sorted out then, or is it still in talks at the moment?
it's just sitting there right now. I kind of neglect that one because I have a bigger following.
Erin, everyone in the world will use YouTube.
Oh yeah, I know. I have another channel that has nothing to do with ghosts, and that one does really well. I just haven't really.
What happened? Wonder what happened then. Your sound has gone off. While we wait, everyone, until Erin's sound comes back on, has anyone got any other questions that they would like to ask? Oh, it's gone. Oh no. What happened there? Aaron will be back on now, everyone. There's nasty storms, and it's knocking out the internet connections. There we go. Your internet went off.
I'm back. Yes, we have horrible storms. We're supposed to get tornadoes today, so
I'm hoping this was at the right time to interview.
Well, I'm not going anywhere, so
That's good.
sorry about
So when was your first experience in book writing?
The first one was about 2 years ago. I just sat down and started writing about haunted places I like to visit, and it turned into Hauntings Around America, and it kind of just blew up. So I enjoyed it so much, I started making it a weekly thing where I would post my chapters on my blog.
It sounds really interesting because you're a paranormal investigator and you're also a book writer. It really is interesting how your career is really taken off.
Yeah, it's it's a roundabout way of making it, I guess. I don't know, but I enjoy doing it. I'm much better as a storyteller, I believe.
A storyteller.
Yeah.
Do you think you would stop doing the book writing, or do you think it's going to be an ending process where it's never going to end?
I probably will stop the book writing just because it takes a lot of effort to promote it and whatnot. I enjoy the investigative side of it more so.
Where can we find your books?
Right now they're only on Amazon Kindle, or you can get a hardcover there too. But I'm looking to expand it to more vendors.
So you must have very good publishers in your contacts.
I haven't even tried. I've had people reach out to me, but I've never gotten back to them. I've just been so busy with the investigative side and also my other job, which is working in hospice and going to school and taking care of my kids. So I'm pretty spread thin right now.
It's good that you're stressed because then you wonder why you haven't got anything to do. Because time flies by when you're having fun.
Exactly.
Do you have any questions you'd like to ask me?
No, I mean, let's see. What have you been working on since the last time we talked?
Interviews.
I see. That's great. I don't know.
I've got movie writers and directors coming up, so that will be a lot interesting.
Wow, that will be really cool. Congratulations.
Oh, it is. It really is. Really is.
Yes. Sorry.
So Amazon then. How do we find your novels?
It's just my name, Erin Egnatz, or you can look at Hauntings Around America. It'll come up.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It really does look interesting, these books. It really does.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you might lose me again because the wind's really picking up. So just in case, just to forewarn you.
No. Oh, no. I must say, how did you get it into Amazon then? How did Amazon distribute this?
You write it on your preferred. I used Readsy, which helps format it into a Kindle ebook. and then you just go on there and you upload it, and Amazon makes it really easy for self-publishers. You get to pick all these different like layouts and whatnot, and then they just post it online for you. It's really, really easy.
I might do that on my part-time free job.
Yeah, you should.
I'll have to call on you, Erin, to help me with the literature.
Sure, absolutely.
So, do you think book writers need experience or need to reach a specific specification for it to be released? Or can it be like a 2-page, 5-page? What sort of recommendations?
I would definitely recommend it being longer than the 2 or 5 pages. I think it really depends on what you're writing about. If you're writing about
A biography.
a biography,
Or
yeah, okay. If you're writing a biography, then you could probably knock it out in 100 pages, unless it's someone extremely interesting, and you can go on. But I would say I would make the threshold 100 pages or more. But yeah, those are pretty easy, as far as getting into writing, because you're writing about someone. So you're not necessarily having to come up with the material, but you're kind of translating the material. So I always find those interesting.
I'm actually going to think about doing this. Really am.
You should. You definitely should.
Erin, you got me into doing a very good idea, you.
There you go.
I do like the ideas. I really do. I think I gotta start. I think I gotta get into that.
Yeah, if you like writing at all, it won't seem like a chore. If you don't like writing, then it might seem like a chore.
I just get lost into writing. I mean, once I start, I don't think I could ever stop me. So
yeah, well then you're good to go.
what do you think the most motivational thing I should do, Erin, to keep me at my desk?
For a biography, I would say, if there's other biographies on the person, or articles about them, keep reading up on them. Keep them in your mind. That'll keep you motivated, I think. At least it works for me with my Civil War book that I'm working on.
Yeah, it's good though, because you're like a qualified book writer, so it's really good to get some advice. It really is.
Well, if you ever have any questions, send me a message. I would be glad to help.
I would. Yeah, but everyone watching this, I know it's probably relevant in this interview, but I think I'm going to be doing a book at some stage. What is the best way to market your books?
I am not the best person to talk about that because I have not even tried, to be honest. I think on social media is probably the best to get started. If you have a big following, it definitely helps. When I think I've mentioned my book once on social media. I really should work harder at that. People will follow the links and stuff. Social media, it's a powerful marketing tool. Publishers would be the best route, but some of them are more of like, you pay me up front, and you don't want that. You want someone that's gonna not require payment up front. So you have to watch out for that.
Yeah. So, typing up a book, then, do you use some sort of special website to do it, or can you just use, say, Google Docs?
You could start there and then transfer it over. For me, it's called Reedsy, Reedy,
REEC,
something like that. What is it? REEDSY.com. And it'll format the book for you however you want. And once you're done, you download it and then upload it to Amazon, and you're good to go.
Would you upload, say, like a 30-page preview to, say, a website? Do you have a website at the moment?
I do. It's hauntingsaroundamerica.com.
Hauntingsaroundamerica.com. How did you come up with that name, may I ask? Because that is a really good name.
Thank you. I was brainstorming when I started creating it, and I was like, okay, these are about United States locations. What would make sense? And then I honestly thought someone would have already stolen that name, but they didn't, so I took it.
It's catchy. It really is catchy.
Thank you.
But do you read other sorts of books and take ideas from there, or do you come up with your own as you read another book?
I read all kinds of books. It doesn't matter the genre. I'll pretty much read it. Classics, new books, fiction, nonfiction. It doesn't matter. I don't really get the ideas for that because mine tend to stick to ghostly things and my personal experiences. And as far as the Civil War goes, that's more of like a biography book. So, you can't really get, off track there. You have to stay to the facts. But I love to read all kinds of books and kind of escape into them.
It's like you can just delve into it, and like, pretend that you're there, isn't it? When you're reading the chapters, it really is.
Oh yeah.
It's like a de-stressor, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
can just delve into a book, and you
exactly.
and you pretend you're living in reality, escaping from the live and reading into fictional books.
Yeah, sometimes they have some really interesting lives and journeys going on in those books.
So, what would you say then is the recommendation on the writing process? Do you think it should be the main importance, or how long do you think, on an average, should people spend on a book, writing it, etc.?
I don't think there's any set time. I've talked to authors who wrote within a week. I don't know how they've done it, but they were just so motivated that they wrote a whole book in a week. And then there's been others that it took years. I would just say, don't rush yourself. Just make sure you are happy with your end product, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. It's not really it's not every writer though. It's not going to take like an hour to write a full book by then. So patience is the key if you want to be in the book writing process.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because if you want people to buy it, you got to make sure like it was out of W.H. Smith's.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to make it really, really catchy.
Yes, exactly. That, and you want to make sure your editing's done well. I've read some books that they did not edit, and you're like, what are you talking about? So you don't want to be like that either.
No, definitely not. Does your book then have any imagery in it, or is it just more of an adult read?
It does not. There may be one or two pictures in there. But it was to put more pictures in there. It just made the file too large. And I didn't feel like dealing with all of that. But on my blog, which I have most of the stories, they're usually shorter versions of what's in the book. There's a picture with each of those.
Yeah. I gotta say, from the website and from just from looking at the sample of of the book that you wrote, is quality. It really is quality.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm a great guy. Of course, I wouldn't say anything that wasn't true.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it.
What is the hardest scene to write in your experience?
For me, I haven't really had one that's too hard because they're more of recollections. If I was writing something maybe fictional, that would be pretty difficult because you're creating a whole new scene. Dialogue, I believe, and I've heard from a lot of people, dialogue is the hardest thing because you're supposed to be representing two different characters with two different personalities, and you got to make sure that it's more than one dimensional. So that would be hard for me, I believe.
How do you manage with the balance of demands of getting it right with the publisher and the reader?
That I don't have any experience with. I need to work on that. So if you find that out, please let me know.
Yeah, I'll sure we'll see if anyone have answered that question prior to me asking it. Um, does a big ego help or hurt writers?
I'm kind of new to the whole writing world. It's kind of like my side gig on top of my hauntings, which is my main gig. Um, so I haven't come into contact with too many writers, but I would imagine that the bigger the ego, probably like anything else, it's probably going to hinder your process because people will not like you.
Yeah, definitely. In your book, then, when you're looking back on what you wrote, do you think you could have done something a lot different compared to how it was finished?
Um, I think I could have made it a bit larger. I kind of jumped the gun and submitted it before I should have. I think I should have waited and probably put a few more sections, a few more states in there, but I did not.
Uh, do you want each book to stand on its own, or are you trying to build a body of work with connections between each book? So, like, is it like a continuing series, or is it just like a single book, there and then?
For the hauntings, it'll be a series. I want them all to kind of connect and kind of flow one into the next. For the other one, that's more of a biography. It'll be a standalone about this particular regiment.
Yeah, it's good though because I'm taking really good knowledge from a book writer because I'm seriously gonna have very good advice for myself.
That's
On this
great.
issue. Really
If you
am.
love writing, I say go for it. I love it. So
I definitely will. I'm really inspired to write one now that I know that seeing yours and seeing the work that you've done, it really inspires so many writers out there.
great. That makes me so happy.
That's good. Have you been on any podcast then since that last time I interviewed?
I have, yes. It was, geez, in early March, I believe, right after I did the big investigation on the Lexington. Um, but I have another one coming up within the next month. But otherwise, you're it for now.
So in the paranormal investigations, then how do you have the time to do both exactly? Because if you're going out on investigations, that could take more about 3 or 4 days. Do you write in your free time, and it takes you probably on an average a month to get it out there, or is it just like a not really a time limited project?
It's not really time limited. It's kind of just whenever I have time, I write it out. Um, like you would see on my blog or that connects to my Instagram or my Facebook when I make a post about a place. I usually write that within about 30 minutes. It doesn't take me very long to write out, 1,000 words or whatever. So I usually do
Does
that.
it feel quite pressurizing?
No, not really, not yet, at least. Maybe if I run out of material, it might be. But as of right now, no, I just sit down and write it, and I'm done within about a half an hour, and then I can go investigate.
Yeah, but you are, if you can write 1,000 words in 30 minutes, you're a fantastic writer, and I don't need to say any further.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's just one of my hobbies that I've brushed up on, and then all throughout college, you have to write like 5 papers a week or whatever. I just got really used to it.
Yeah. So, what is, in your opinion, then, the most important elements of good writing?
I would say the the most important would be staying clear and concise in what you have to say. Don't get all muddled and you write one thing, but you meant another, and then you read it back and you're like, what was I talking about there? So try and, stay clear and concise.
Do you think someone that may not have the the biggest English examinations may not be able to do the full potential in book writing?
I think anyone can. Maybe they might need a little extra help, maybe an editor to kind of go through and straighten things out. But I think that as long as you have an idea and you can put some words on the page, you could probably get it filled out pretty well, no matter who you are.
How do you do the research for your books?
Um, I usually go through old newspapers because obviously the places that I write about are really old. So I have a subscription to newspapers.com, and it'll show you papers from all the way back to like 1800. So I can look at what was going on when whatever incident occurred that caused the haunting. And then I go by other people's stories that, firsthand experiences or my firsthand experience. And I kind of put it all together and write out the history that way.
That's fascinating, isn't it? It really is. Because you're doing something that you enjoy. And as long as you enjoy it, and as long as you're staying truthful in your hobbies, I just don't think it would ever slip.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because it's something I love. I love history. I love ghosts, and I love writing. You put it together, and it's all right.
Where do you get the inspiration? Writing a book or looking at the finishing product?
um, Probably looking at the finished product because in the middle of writing it, I usually get really frustrated. So, yeah, I'm more inspired once it's done to do another.
Would you do an audio book?
Um, yeah, I think that would be really interesting. I know a lot of people do it when they're driving or, if they can't read for whatever reason. The audio is becoming really, really popular. So I probably should hire someone to narrate my books for me.
I think there's fantastic tools online. The internet has changed dramatically, and now there's so many options out there that can help you with practically anything with writing, uh, editing. The internet is a great place where you can discover to help you in your journeys.
Exactly. It is. It's a wealth of information. Almost too much information out there, but it's so helpful.
Have you had like any negative reviews on any of your books, or has they been generally positive?
I haven't had any yet. I'm hoping that I don't get any, but you never know. But so far, the majority of my work, from investigations to the writing to the content I put up, has been generally positive.
Yeah. Well, with the imagery and the blurb, why would you get a complaint on that? It's almost as someone wanted to purposely buy it to purposely make a complaint.
Yeah, and there are people out there. I haven't come across this person personally, but I've seen it happen to other people, so I know they're out there.
What is your favorite book at the moment?
My favorite actually has absolutely nothing to do with ghosts, believe it or not. It is a retelling of King Arthur. It's what is it called? I don't even know what it's called. It is. I don't know. It's really good. It's about a girl from the 21st century who touches an old rusty sword in London and gets transported back in time to King Arthur's time, and she somehow becomes King Arthur, even though she didn't want to be King Arthur and she thought it was stupid. And it's just really funny, actually.
Here's a very, very good question to ask you, considering you're a fantastic writer, and I actually will buy your book. I actually will, because I'm impressed with the back of it and the front of it. It really is making me want to read it.
Oh, thank you.
It is, really is. Can you share us with something then about the book that isn't in the blurb?
Sure. Let me see what
It was like a sneak preview.
let me it's been so long since I don't remember what the blurb was about. But I okay, so with Hauntings Around America, basically it's almost like a tour guide of haunted places throughout the US. There's a lot to do with like Gettysburg and the Phantom Train, but I believe that's on the blurb. What's not on there, which is really interesting, is personal experiences that I have at these places. So the reader gets to kind of dive in there and see what it's like firsthand experience ghost hunting. So it's not just a story about the haunted places, it's also what it's like to be a ghost hunter at these places. So I've gotten a lot of good feedback about that because they told me, that's really cool to know what it's like to be a ghost hunter. You feel like you're in the moment. So I added that part in. One of the places that I write about is called Widow McClary's, or it was called Widow McClary's, and it's about Al Capone. He used to do a lot of his dirty work there, and it's really haunted, and so I go into depth about that one.
Can you give us some insight into what makes XXX characters tick?
I'm sorry, you broke up. What was that?
Can you give us some insights on what makes the three X's characters tick?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew what it was. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Was the writing process different? And what challenges did you face writing the genre?
I think the biggest challenge is trying to figure out which genre it's in. Because when it comes to publishing it, you can only select a certain one, and they're also, not really ghost hunting oriented, that you kind of have to just pick one and throw it in there. That's the biggest challenge, is trying to find the right genre. And I ended up getting stuck with like ghost fiction, but technically, to me and all the ghost hunters out there, it's not fiction. So that is the biggest challenge there.
How many plot ideas are just waiting to be written?
Let's see. I just went onto my Readsy right now to see which books I've started, and I have 7 different books started. So I have 7.
7?
Yes. I never understood before I actually started writing how people could write multiple books at once, but now I don't understand how they can't, because one day you may have a really good idea for this one book, but the next day you fall flat with that one, but an idea comes up for the other one, so you work on that one, and kind of it's like ADD of the brain. I have it severely.
How do you deal with the emotional impact of a book on yourself as you're writing the story?
To me, it's, especially with the hauntings books, it's me basically telling my story of my experiences. So for me, it's like therapy almost. I mean, I don't need therapy, but it's just something like a release to talk about, what you do. For the other books, especially the biography, I get more frustration than anything. Because I'll hit a dead end, and I don't know where I want to take it, so I get frustrated, and emotionally, I just get up and walk away from it and just leave it there for like a month at a time.
So in your books then, what do you think is the particular favorite chapter that you adore the most?
For me, my favorite is the Gettysburg, but for everyone else, it's the Abraham Lincoln's Ghost Train. Everybody loves the Ghost Train. I don't know if it's because it's so mysterious or what it is about that Ghost Train, but people just love that one.
Wow, when I get that book, I'll understand your point of view.
Yeah. It's a funeral train that just every year since Lincoln died, he died in 1865, it comes through at the same time, the same exact route. It's really cool. So people love that one.
What do you think is the most important, getting the book right or finding out the accuracy in the titling and the pricing?
Um, I would say getting it right. You want to make sure, you're not telling tales. Ghost hunting is such a paranormal investigating, whatever you want to call it, it's such a finicky area, because some people believe it, some people don't. So, it is what it is, but you want to make sure that the facts that you can prove are right. So I would say getting it right.
Would you discontinue the writing process and do your book and audio only?
Probably not, because I enjoy just sitting down and writing it. And I know that there are people that just like to sit down and read. But I do want to add audio to it. I think that would be a good thing to do. You gave me a great idea. Thank you.
Thank you there, Ruth. She is exactly that. She is very awesome indeed.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's good though, because you're getting so many podcasts now than you was prior. So the word gets around, and because of what you do in the writing field and in the book process, you really are inspiring so many people out there just to interview you and to write their own books.
Oh, that means the world to me, and I that's the biggest compliment, is to inspire people. To me, that I was inspired to do it, and I love that I'm continuing that on.
Wow, please don't stop, Erin. Please. Please don't stop.
I hope to keep going. I do. I really do. But I have so many.
You got the passion to write. Don't give it up.
Yes, I do have the passion. I think with the new investigations that I have coming up, I think that will help create more material too, to get the book out there faster.
Hopefully. What's your key motivation in the writing process? Listening to music or having TV on?
Music. Music helps. I have different playlists for whatever I'm writing. It might be like a heavier.
If I was writing a biography of myself, would I need to have Bon Jovi on?
If that is your guy, then go for it.
No, I'm just asking you, Erin, because you're the book writer and I'm just the beginner.
Yeah, I would say that it depends on your mood, honestly. I have a playlist for everything. I have like oldies and Beatles for, when I'm in that kind of mood. It doesn't really matter what I'm writing, just whatever mood I'm in. But I definitely have a playlist. Plus, I have 3 kids, so I have to have those headphones in because they're always screaming. So,
what is the significance of the title?
It's basically, I wanted to keep it with what my brand is, and my brand has become Hauntings Around America. My investigations, my videos, my blog posts, everything's Hauntings Around America. So I wanted to keep the title as closely related to me and what it represents to my whole brand. And I thought, Hauntings Around America it encompasses everything I write about, so it works nicely.
Yeah, it really does. Really does.
Thanks.
It's just a unique name, isn't it? It's a unique branding. And because of what your branding covers, it really is a motivational branding.
Yes. I got fortunate enough that it was available. I scooped it up, and I just want to...
Copyrighted. No one steals my branding.
I have already started that process. Make sure that no one gets it, because that's my baby. So
well, do you have any question like to ask me then?
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like paying attention, making sure my house isn't blown away. But
oh, right.
It's spring in the Midwest. That's how it goes here. It's not uncommon for whatever reason. But No, I mean, do you have any questions about the ghost hunting? I don't know side of it, the writing.
I definitely will have some questions on the ghost hunting. Do you like a 5-minute commercial break?
Sure.
What's your favorite song at the moment?
My favorite song at the moment. You know what? Here Comes the Sun right now. I've been listening to George Harrison lately.
George Michael.
I like George Michael too.
George Michael really is a good singer.
Oh yeah, I liked him back in his Wham days.
Well, Erin, go get yourself a biscuit and a cup of coffee. We'll be back to continue the interview in just 5 minutes' time.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Good afternoon, Eric.
Hello, how are you?
How do you enjoy that then?
I liked it a lot.
Good, very good. So what sort of video footage then are you going to be focusing on? What sort of lens are you hoping to stick at?
You know, I just got a whole bunch of new things in. That's picking up a lot of the video. It's like a 4K video. It's almost like a GoPro, but it's amazing. And it's been picking up all kinds of different EVPs and stuff lately. It's an amazing little device, all wrapped up into like a $49 package. It's amazing. So I'm gonna try and make longer episodes with it now because it has quite the capacity on it.
What's your opinion on people that's making fake footage?
I really, really, really don't like that. It hurts us as, you know, not a genre, but, you know, ghost hunting, paranormal investigators, you know, we're out there trying to prove something, and it's hard to prove something when people are faking things, and it goes back to all of us, and people question it. So I'm very, very much against faking things.
What do you say to those people that would believe the fake footage but are completely unaware of people that are trying to prove it?
I feel really bad for the people that believe it, you know, because some of the stuff is so believable. You know, there's some really good editors out there. I just, you know, I just think it hurts us as a whole. And, you know, if a person believes it and then they find out later it was doctored, well, then they're going to look at us as, you know, we're just liars. So I don't know. I think that it's best if people don't doctor things.
Yeah, it is really great to get a message around saying that we are doing the trueness of the investigations, whereas people are doing it for the fame and for the cash in hand aspect.
Exactly. Yes.
So who inspired you to make the video footages?
Actually just watching Ghost Hunters. That was that was almost the original show out there. I loved what they did, and I wanted to do it too. So I was already investigating. I just wasn't really recording it. So after I started watching them, I started picking up on some techniques to record on my own. Obviously, it doesn't have as good a quality because, you know, they had a whole production studio. But, you know, they've been my inspiration, Jay and Grant, from the beginning.
Yeah. Do you do any live streaming events?
I have tried a couple times, but usually the places that I investigate are really bad for cell service. So I've failed so far on that. I'm hoping the next one, this coming up one, is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It should have excellent cell service. So this might be my first live that I do.
Well, you're more than welcome to come back on the show. You're more than welcome to do that.
I'd love to.
That's good. Have you felt nervous then on locations with a video camera? Have you thought about what the public may think of that?
At first I did. I got really paranoid, a little self-conscious, but as I've done it more and more, I've kind of gotten used to it, and I'm to the point now where people think what they think, and it is what it is.
How do you get past that nervous sort of momentum then? How do you see behind the nerves?
um, I believe that getting into the investigation, forgetting about the cameras and just focusing on what you're trying to find is the best route there to get rid of the nervousness. Just forget it's there.
Just try and forget it's there. Close the blanket on it.
Yes, exactly.
What are your favorite YouTubers?
Let's see. I don't. Well, you of course.
Oh, I'm your favorite YouTuber.
You know what? I don't follow anyone on YouTube, believe it or not.
Oh, I feel very offended.
I know.
Well, I would be at the top of the list.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? You're at the top because I do follow you. I'm always on Instagram. I tend to get better reactions on Instagram and Facebook, so that's where I tend to hang out.
So, as a book writer and a paranormal investigator, what do you use Instagram and Facebook for exactly? Because I know Instagram focuses on the photos sort of thing.
Yeah, Facebook is where I usually put my blog posts, and then they'll just follow it to my website. So it's more of the spotlighting, like what was my most recent one? It was a place in New Jersey. I've never been there, but I wrote about the history of it and why it's haunted and the ghostly interactions that have happened there. And then I just post it on Facebook and people will follow it and read about it there.
Has the coronavirus affected that? And have you had your COVID vaccination?
I have not. I have had COVID, but I haven't had the vaccination. Yeah.
That really is devastating.
I've heard it's been horrible for a lot of people. Me personally, it didn't really affect, but I'm younger, so the elderly, absolutely. I've worked in healthcare for a decade, so I've seen some nasty things come through, and it's. I'm glad that there's a vaccination out there for the people that need it.
Yeah, definitely. So what's your favorite piece of equipment, and what advice would you offer? Would you give to some people who wants to go out there and document their own video footage?
I would say don't go out and spend $1,000 on a bunch of crazy equipment, unless you know that you want to do this. Don't immediately say, "Hey, I'm gonna go investigate this place. I've never done it before, but I see this good deal for $700 and it's a ghost hunting equipment case." Don't do that. Make sure you like it first. Some people actually get out there, they investigate, and they realize that is not for them. And now they have a ton of equipment. For me personally, I have every gadget under the sun. The EMF readers, the pumps, the sensors, all kinds of cameras. But my favorite is my iPhone, believe it or not. I
have an Android.
Oh, well, you're Android then. For me personally, the iPhone has the live photos. I don't know if Androids do. It's been a long time since I've had one.
I got the Samsung Note 20.
Okay.
Top of the range.
Is it? See, I don't know. I don't know much about phones. I just got a new phone the other day, so hopefully it's as good as the other one. Mine's a 12 Pro or something? I don't know what it is. I don't know what I have, but I have it. But the live photos, there's so much that I've caught when I see something. Because of the live photo, you can see like spirits manifesting and stuff. I've caught that multiple times, so that's been a huge help for me. But any kind of cell phone, you don't have to have an expensive camera. You can investigate with just any kind of cell phone.
Any phone that has a camera.
Exactly. Yep.
Or an actual camera.
Exactly. Well, that too. Yeah, anything like that. You don't have to go and get the high fancy stuff unless you're turning it into what I do. Then yeah, you probably need a little bit more.
What do you do to relax then? After all the writing and the book writing?
Well, I don't have a lot of relaxation time. Like I said, I have 3 kids.
That's not true, Erin. I know you're watching Netflix.
I try. I do try, but my house is usually a wild, wild kingdom. Um, you know, traveling relaxes me. So when I'm on my way to one of these places, I just sit back and relax like that. Usually I'm going to one of these places once every 2 weeks. So that's a nice relaxation for me.
You gotta de-stress, Erin. You can't take the keyboard wherever you go.
I know, but I do. Yeah, I know. I got to find a different kind of stress reliever.
You need to take screen breaks.
Yes, I do. I'm going to be blind if I don't. I'm always looking at a screen 24/7.
We all know Erin is at the social media for anyone who needs help. Then
Yes, I'm there. Send me a message. I'll get back to you.
that's good. We need your help, Erin.
I'm
We need your
always
help.
I love it.
So on your next video, then, when is it going to be out, and when your next book is going to be out? What's the latest on that?
The book will probably be the end of this year. Just
End of this year.
end of this year. Yeah,
Oh no.
I know, but I have so much going on that it's gonna take a long time to get out. Yeah, that's the fun part of being busy. Everything gets delayed. But yeah, I will have it out by the end of this year. Until then, though, I do have a lot of snippets that I post, or my blog posts that I do weekly, which usually end up in the books in some form or another. For video, the next video will be out probably by Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, I had to think of what today was. So yeah, this coming Saturday.
Is there any targets that you are hoping to achieve?
At this point, I would really like to get into some kind of television show of ghost hunting. I actually was interviewed for a part the other day on a new Ghost Hunters type show. I don't know if I got it, but I was actually surprised that they even called me to begin with. So, that's cool in itself. But if I could get to something like that, that would be amazing.
Oh, it would be indeed. Is there any question you'd like to ask me then? Anything at all?
No, I don't. I'm not very good with the questions. I'm good with the writing and the answers, but I'm not good with the questions.
It's just why you have to come on to my show.
Exactly.
What I do.
If I had a podcast, we would all just be sitting there.
Would you host pod? That's actually an interesting question I would ask. Would you ever host a podcast but get different book writers onto it?
I wouldn't be against it, but that's not my strong suit. I like going on podcasts as a guest, but I'm just so bad with the questions, and I would probably ask the same question 5 times and not even realize it.
Well, my last question to you, Erin, and then we will discuss the next show, is it wise to bring home souvenirs from a ghost hunting trip, and what could go wrong?
Definitely not wise. It's definitely not wise. Some of that stuff is definitely negative energy, and you don't want that in your home. Not everything. A lot of it is positive too, but you definitely get some negative. So I would not bring anything home. I have antiques. I collect Victorian antiques, and I have a couple that have spirit attachments to it, which is made for an interesting house. But I don't know. I wouldn't bring anything home from an investigation.
That's good, Erin. That's really good. You don't know if it's cursed or anything, do you?
Yeah, and I don't want to find out.
Would you like to come back on in July?
Sure, yeah. Just let me know and I will be on.
I can't, Erin. I gotta make sure that you're available. I don't want you to do 5 things in different one days.
No, I will make
I'm going to blow up like a plug.
We'll see. Here's hoping, right?
Well, I listed you down for July. Any date specifically?
as of right now, I have nothing in July. So
Nothing. No holidays.
let's see. I'm looking. No, nothing is scheduled. July looks good. Yeah, June's my big travel month this year. So yeah, nothing in July yet.
I think then you'll have April, May, June. You have 3 months. Let's see what you've been
Yeah,
been going on in those 3 months.
exactly. July will be my break month, and then I guess I'll get ready for fall and ghost season. You know, with Halloween. So.
No. Well, before you go, as the the streets are you living, has it gone busier with people doing their shop, or has it gone a lot quieter?
We never really slowed down. So it just keeps getting busier. Yeah.
Well, it's been an honour to have you on, Erin. Take care, and I think it's going to be 11:16 where you're currently situated.
Perfect. Yes, very soon. Thank you so much.
No worries. I'll see you in July. Have a great book writing session. And remember to take those screen breaks. Eyes are the key.
Absolutely. Definitely. Thank you. You have a good one.
Take care, Erin. Take care.